did Stephon Castle's parents guide him to the NBA? Stephon Castle was born in November of 2004 and grew up in Covington, Georgia, but his story actually starts years earlier with his father, Stacy. Stacy was a standout high school basketball player. He averaged 34 points in his junior season. He would go off to play college at Wake Forest with Tim Duncan. However, Stacy would struggle there, averaging only 1.9 points per game. It was his first time battling adversity, and he quickly learned the best solution was not pouting. Instead, it was putting in hard work. He would transfer to UCF, but these lessons he learned would carry with him when he became a father. During Stephon's childhood, he would work with him on basketball. At first, he would pout, but he quickly grew out of that and started embracing the hard work. And Stacy knew his son had the chance to be great. By the 7th grade, Stacy was Stephon's AAU coach, and Stephon was well on his way to becoming a great high school player. And he kept putting in the work. As a freshman in high school, he was coming off the bench, but he was excelling in his role. By his sophomore year, he was starting and was a great all-around point guard, could score, pass, and defend. And that summer on the AAU circuit, his name finally was making his way around recruiting circles. He was a 4-star recruit, and offers were coming in from all over. And during all of this, his mother, Quanette, made sure to keep him humble. They were going to support their son, but they did not want to become fans. They needed to keep being parents to Stephon, meaning he was still doing the dishes no matter which schools wanted him. The Castles had connections with UConn, as Stacy played AAU with UConn assistant coach Kamani Young. But Stephon also fell in love with the school and their coaching style. He loved that Dan Hurley wasn't afraid to take players out of their comfort zone. And one night at 2 a.m., he knocked on his parents' door and told them UConn is where he needed to be, and he would be committing the next day. Throughout his next 2 years of high school, he kept getting better, getting bumped up to a 5-star recruit by his senior year, making the McDonald's All-American game a huge goal of Castle's. But then he was off to UConn with high expectations, as they were coming off a national championship and would be chasing a second with a stacked roster. Castle battled an injury early on in the season, but he quickly found a role on the team. Oftentimes, they were not needing him to score so much. Instead, defend, pass, rebound, and he was doing that. But when they needed him to score, he would step up as well. In the Final Four game versus Alabama, he went off for 21 points, helping them get to the national championship, where they cut down the nets again, where he became a national champion with the Huskies. And then he was drafted 4th overall by the Spurs. He will now get to learn from Chris Paul and play with Wemby, and I think he has a chance to be the best player from this draft.